What about you? And welcome to another Premier Anonymous video. This is something that comes up all the time in a lot of my videos. People are always asking how to increase prices and not lose customers. So just before we begin, I'd like to say that nobody, including myself, likes price rises, though it never fails to amaze me how my mobile phone provider, even though I'm in a fixed term contract, they always manage to put my price up every year regardless. I'd like to say that everything goes up, including running a small business, so the likes of your phone bill, marketing costs, advertising, payroll, you name it, it goes up every year, fuel, everything, it goes up every year. And if you don't put your prices up in line with inflation every year, you're going to be worse off. Welcome back to how to increase prices and not lose customers. This was a question that was left in my comments section of one of my pricing video this week. One of my viewers asked me, he said, look, I charge £20 a cut. My lawns are quite large and I'm trying to increase the price to £25, but my customers aren't interested. But it's got to the point now where it's not worth them going out to cut lawns, because if you can't get the £25 to cut a largest lawn, then it's costing money to be there, because whenever you take into fact weather, wages and everything else. So this is videos to try and sort of help people out that are in that position. It's not nice having to increase prices, and no business owner likes to do it, but it's one of these things that has to be done. And if you do it properly, then it's fairly easy to manage. So this is how I increase prices and not lose customers. I found that the best way to increase your price is just to be open and honest with customers. If you just say, look, I have to put the price up. All my costs have gone up this year. I'm only putting it up in line with inflation. Most customers are going to get that. You might lose some customers over it, but there's a good chance they were going to cancel on you anyway, and you're going to be losing out on a couple of pounds every year. So let's just break this down. My granny had this saying, if you look after your pennies, the pounds will look after themselves. And this is really true. So whenever you start putting your prices up every year, your customers come to expect it. And it's not a big thing. If for example, something's gone up 50p, nobody's really going to notice it. But as I say, over 100 of customers, it will. So let's say the person that made the comment on the video, let's say he cuts 10 lawns a day at £20 a cut times 5 days a week. So let's say he does 10 lawns a day and he charges £20 a cut times 5 days a week. That's £1,000 a week. And he's cutting grass for 35 weeks a year. So 35 times £1,000 a week is 35 grand a year. Inflation last year was 2%. So 2% of £20 is 40p, and we're going to round that up to the nearest 50p because it keeps everything nice and tidy. So 50 cuts times 50p is £25 a week. And over the 35 weeks a year, so we're going to multiply 35 times £25 is £875 for this year. Suddenly it starts to become a bit more money. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, over the next few years that inflation starts to go up a bit. Next year, there's a 5% increase. You're now charging £20.50 plus the 5% brings it up to £21.50. This is actually slightly rounded down. And then the following year, inflation is 4%. So £21.50 plus 4% equals £1, and that's rounded up. So now it's at £22.50 times 50 cuts a week times 35 cuts a year is £39,375. Suddenly we're starting to talk about serious money that you're losing out on. And once you don't increase the price the first year, it gets harder to get back to the point from where you started from due to inflation. Year on year too, it gets worse because you're losing out due to compound interest on those small incremental changes every year. So if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, God, I can't put my prices up, I'm going to lose a lot of clients if I increase my prices. I have this really simple, effective formula that anyone can use. But before we get to that, if I could just take a minute, if you could hit that like button down below. Just go ahead and smash it. Really, really helps me out and helps me grow my channel. If you haven't subscribed, if you could subscribe for more content like this. I do pricing videos all the time. I'm going to link some pricing videos at the end. I try and answer people's questions the best I can. There's a really good way to increase your prices and not lose customers. Now, I got this from the Landscape Juice many years ago. I'm going to put a link down below, the Landscape Juice. Make sure you check it out. It's a really good website, and there's a forum attached, and there's a lot of helpful advice on there. You want to create a favorite client ladder. So all that is, if you get all your customers and if you put them into a spreadsheet, your favorite ones at the top and your least favorite ones at the bottom. So how I would sort out favorite customers, ones that pay me on time, give me lots of work, they're easy to work for. So then I would list clients, the worst clients, maybe customers that are outside your main area, or they're slow to pay you, or they complain, they're slow to pay you, or there's dogs start always in the lawn. Whatever sort of, if you just list them, say you have 100 clients, list them 1 to 100. The clients at the bottom of the list, if you're scared about losing customers, start with the price increases at the bottom of the list. And if you lose some of those, it doesn't matter so much, because you're going to replace them further on in the year with better paid customers. So if you always think, use the favorite client ladder, and if you're going to increase your prices more than inflation, then this method really, really becomes very, very valuable in increasing your prices and staying in control. So what I would do, I'm open and honest with my customers. I just email them out and I say, this is the price for this year. If the prices jumped up, I'll maybe justify it a little, but I find that it's better just to be open and honest and say, look, I have to increase your price due to rising costs on my side. Thank them for the custom and just keep it simple. Job done. I always increase my prices before the season kicks off. I know that some gardeners like to do it mid-season. To me, that's complete madness, because it adds chaos to your business, and life's hard enough. I prefer to email my customers at the start of the season, say, this is your price. If customers want to leave, that's fine, because I know at a later date I'm going to replace them with better paying customers, and my routes are more efficient because I can plan better. So just to wrap all this up, be open and honest about your customers, with your customers, about price rises. Do it at the start of the season in line with inflation. Use the customer ladder to sort out your best and worst customers, and the customers you can afford to keep and the customers you can't afford to keep. It's pretty easy. Make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the subscribe button. I have a couple other videos that I think you might like if you haven't seen them. I did a video last year that's been pretty successful, how to charge for garden services. That's going to be here on this side. And then hourly rate pricing versus fixed rate pricing, and that's on this side. So look, subscribe for more content like this. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.